Hey everybody, I'm here to do a quick check-in. I am still on of course, hold on, my phone's all shaky, hold on. Ooh, I'm still reading this book here. I know you guys are thinking, why are you still reading? You're not done yet? No. Okay, so I'm on page 382, and I'm listening and following along because I'm taking notes and highlighting in the book. And okay, first and foremost, every place I read said that before you read the other Legacy of God series, like books in the series, even though they're standalones, you have to read God of Malice first. That is a very true statement because you are introduced to all of the characters in book one. Now, why is it that I was out doing something? I think I was updating my blog and stuff, and I find out that these are the children, and that I really needed to look at Royal Elite series and the Deception trilogy first before getting to this series, which makes sense because I'm trying to figure out, how did all these parents get together? How do they know one another? How are they? Anyway, so apparently I need to, when I'm done with this book, go back and look at the Royal Elite and the Deception trilogy. Anyway, so, and that's how Sophie Lark did her series too, how she's got the parents and then she's got the kids, or the children from there. And so, again, this is my first read of Aruba Kent, so I did not know that, but I do now. Anyway, so I am listening on Libby at the same time going through, and I'm highlighting. I don't tab my books. I know a lot of people do. I tab some, but I don't. My first thing isn't always to tab. My first thing is usually just to highlight. So I've gone through and I've highlighted a few things. There are a lot of characters, a lot of moving parts in this story. And the one feel I am getting from the story is that I feel like other things are happening with other characters in the book simultaneously that I understand but don't fully understand because it's going on in their own standalone book in the series. So again, that goes right back to what I was telling you guys, which is read God of Malice first, because you will get introduced to all the characters and you'll get a piece of why they are who they are before you go read the other standalone books. But now as I'm reading this one, I'm starting to think, man, am I missing some things because I didn't start with Royal Elite? Who knows? However, I am going to, once I'm done with this book, which will probably be tomorrow because I'm like 70% our way through. Plus, I just took a final today. I did, yeah. I'm leaving the accounting class with a B, so I am not complaining because it is not my forte, and there we go. Anyway, and I got another final next week, so yeah, y'all don't care about that. That's just what it is. Anyway, anywho, so Killian is Killian, and it makes me wonder if when I read not the Royal Elite, but when I read the other series before we get to this one, if I truly understand why he is the way that he is. But between him, his brother Gareth, and then their cousins, the Sokolovs, it's definitely, there's some dilemmas there that I know that I am missing, I think because I haven't read about the parents. But he is definitely non-redeeming, even though, there's parts to him that Glendon is breaking down, but he recognizes it, and so he's like, no, this is not what this is, and he puts that wall or that barrier back up. But there's times when he stops and thinks, wow, she's listening to me, she's figuring things out about who I am. I don't know if I like that or not. Why do I care? And then he'll chuckle like, oh, okay, she's learning quick, but I need to put a stop to that. I can't have her figuring me out. I can't have her romanticizing me because that's not me. I'd rather kill you, basically, than anything else. He goes, there's a reason why I love the color red. Yes, There's a reason why he loves the color red, which is crazy. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Dexter. I don't know if you guys watched that TV show. Granted, Dexter was a serial killer. Killian is, yeah, he's 19. So he's not a serial killer. He's a mob kid. Um, he's going to medical school, and he's almost done with medical school. He skipped a couple of years because he's extremely intelligent and smart. And there was some big medical exam that he took, and he didn't even study. He says, oh, I'm listening to all these people sitting in class crying about how hard, that, oh, it was so much work, it's hard, I'm about to take this test, and they're worried. And he took this test, blew it off. He's like, I didn't even study for this thing. And he got the highest grade in the class. Not cheating, the guy is just smart. And it's crazy. He's crazy smart. But he's also a psycho, and he lives up to his name. I mean, his nickname is Kill. Instead of them saying Killian, they go, hey, Kill. Anyway, so he recognizes that Glendon is figuring him out. And at one point he was like, I don't know if I like that, but then now he's like, okay, it's cool, but I need for her not to forget who I truly am. So when Rena Kent says, and I'm getting this so far because I've only got maybe from 350, probably a little over 200, maybe 250 pages or so left, that what she said is true. There is no redeeming qualities to this person. There is no, he's gonna miraculously change and be this sweet guy who's not violent anymore. No, he's Killian, and that's his name, and that's why his parents named him Killian. It's interesting too. He loves his mom, posts a lot of things about his mom. Not a big fan of his dad. His dad isn't a big fan of him. His dad is more closer to his brother Gareth. So these two, you got that same antagonistic relationship. You got two kids only, both males, both clocking for attention to be number one. So there's a very interesting dynamic there between those two as well, which granted, like anything, when you have rivalry like that, I'm sorry guys, I'm sick. I got sinus, head cold and everything. Anyway, when you have a sibling rivalry like that, it has a lot to do with parents. And just listening to just a little bit of pieces of how they interact with their folks, you can totally see that. But again, these are 18, 19-year-olds, so they're not kids. But anyway, so yeah, I'm doing a check-in. Hopefully I'll be finished by tomorrow. Maybe, because my youngest is coming into town tomorrow, so I'm not doing any studying or anything like that. I probably won't do much reading because she'll be in, she's only going to be in town for like a day, a day, and so I want to spend as much time as I can with her. But yeah, so here's the check-in, like it, but it's definitely, I'm telling you now, this book is not for the faint of heart, because there's a couple of times where I'm like, holy crap. So this book is not for the faint of heart. Anyway, that's my check-in. I'm on page, let me look at this again. Page, oh my gosh, you try to do this with one hand, not very good. I'm on page 382 out of 558, 59, something like that. I think it's 557. So not much to go. I'll keep you guys informed about, hopefully the next time you hear from me, I'll be at the end of the book. But hey, stay kind, find a little bit of peace and joy in your life, and I will see you guys again real soon. Bye.